Hello and welcome to Firearm Freedom. In today's video, we're going to be talking about whether you should be carrying chambered or unchambered. And if you're unfamiliar with what that is, it would actually be carrying with a round in the chamber when you're concealed carrying, or carrying with a round not in the chamber. And I'll be honest with you guys, I'm coming into it a little bit biased because I would just simply never carry without a round chambered, and that's my own personal opinion. But I wanted to dive into it just a little bit deeper. What I did in order to accomplish this was go to the range with a shot timer to see the exact differences. We did this with myself carrying appendix, and then we also did this with my very good friend John, who was also at the range with me, and he was carrying strong side carry. And we found that ultimately it really wasn't that much of a difference between the two times. Now, I'm not going to go into each time specifically, but in the back roll footage, you're going to be seeing actual footage of us drawing and the time differences. But really, the most interesting thing that we found was that it was nowhere near as much of a difference as we thought it was going to be. At least not really much of a noticeable difference. Let's talk about why somebody would want to carry without a round in the chamber. So the number one thing that's going to come to mind is safety. And whether that be safety with yourself because you're a little bit unconfident in your own skills as carrying a firearm, or you're a little bit uncomfortable with the actual placement that the firearm is, like appendix carry, or safety around your house. So safety with kids in the home or something like that. These are all reasons why people choose to carry without a round in the chamber. The reason that I carry with a round in the chamber is just simply because you may not have both of your hands to chamber around. That would probably be my number one thing to think about, is that you're probably not going to have both of your hands at the ready if you are being physically attacked by somebody to rack the slide on your pistol in order to chamber around and get the gun into action. Ideally, you would already have a round chambered, so that way if you do have to draw with one hand, you can get the gun into action easily. Now, with that being said, there are ways to chamber around into the gun with one hand, and we'll show you that here in the back roll of some one-handed manipulation drills, getting the round on target and racking the gun off of my belt, and that is an option. A lot of people think without the round chambered, they have much less of an issue of a child getting to the gun and having a horrible event happen. There is quite a bit of merit to that because obviously most children under the age of, say, 5 are going to have a really hard time racking the slide of a pistol. But my argument to that would be that your children really shouldn't have the ability to even get to that gun in the first place. We should be safely locking that pistol up, or that rifle or that shotgun up around the house, so that the children cannot get to it, but it's still fast and quick access to you to get to it. Now, ideally, that gun is just going to be on your person in and around your home because you're going to be traveling in and out of your home all day long. So you really shouldn't have to worry about it as is. But if you're really that concerned about it, you should just be keeping that handgun out of the reach of your loved ones at home. Some other data points that I thought were interesting when we actually started getting into the time and having to rack around in the chamber, we both found that it was much faster and much easier to rack the slide of the pistol in carrying appendix. We found that once carrying in the strong side position, that it was much slower to get the gun into action and rack the slide. The reason is because once John drew from that position, it wasn't really natural for him to rack the slide all the way back here. He would wind up bringing the gun center chest, then racking the slide, then getting the gun out. Now, obviously, there's better ways to do this, and it was interesting to see somebody like John, who carries with a round chambered, have to struggle to get that round chambered, and see myself struggle to get the round chambered. And I thought that was a very realistic scenario because a lot of the people out there that are carrying a round chambered, I think generally don't train around racking the slide, although they should. A lot of people carry without a round chambered because they're not confident with their own skills with the pistol yet to carry with a round chambered, or they're simply not comfortable with the actual holster style. I myself was one of those people. For the first 2 weeks of carrying a pistol on my person right when I turned 21, I actually did not have a round chambered in my pistol. Looking back, I realized that the only reason I made this decision was because I wasn't confident with my own skills yet to be carrying that gun with a round chambered. Now looking back, I probably shouldn't have been carrying a gun yet because I should have been more confident in my own skills in order to carry that gun chambered. So if that's you, if you're not confident in your own skills, I would urge you to get more training at the range before you go ahead and carry the gun, because it's probably not gonna be of much use to you anyways if you're not confident with carrying it. Now, the other reason would be not confident in your holster setup. I've seen people actually just carry the gun in their waistband with no holster, and in that case, they don't carry around chambered. I'd highly recommend a holster. And I've also seen people carry appendix and they're just not confident with how their setup is and they don't want to risk a negligent discharge. I would say again to those people, you should just find the setup that works for you, and you should trust the setup enough to understand that it's not just going to go bang without something bad happening and something getting in that trigger or something like that. So it's just important to have the proper setup. You guys know that have followed the channel for a long time that I absolutely recommend carrying with a round chambered, and I think this video kind of further proves that point. And whenever you're watching these videos regarding this topic, a lot of the time it's in a stagnant range. We did some movement drills and we didn't notice a bunch of differences, but you have to remember that nobody knows what your self-defense encounter is going to look like, and it's very, very important to realize that anything could go wrong, so why stack the odds against you in having to do an extra movement where clothing could get caught in the slide, or you could short stroke the slide and not get it back far enough, or you could not have both hands and not be able to rack the slide off your belt, or whatever the reason might be. It's just not wise to stack the odds against you like that. So that's pretty much going to wrap this video up, guys. If you do have any other questions or concerns, please voice them down in the comment section below, and I absolutely will get back to you. While you're down there, check out that description and head to the Firearm Freedom Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Backwood USA account. Pretty much whatever social media platform you are on, you will be able to enjoy the awesome daily firearms content that we have coming out on all 4 of those. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you don't miss out on any of the awesome content we have coming out here on the YouTube channel. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.